What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chin here again today from the Nothing But Facts podcast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I hope you guys watched my video yesterday breaking down some big games we have this weekend. We have Oregon going on the road to Penn State. We have Alabama going on the road to Georgia and many more. Today, I want to pick off from where we left off yesterday. I want to talk about some four other games that we have in the lineup that I think are going to be really good, four important pivotal games for these college football teams. And we'll dive right in. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. It's been a great week so far, and I'm really looking forward to this great week of college football, this great weekend of college football that we have coming up. The first game I want to talk about we have coming up on Saturday. Big noon kickoff, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. We have number 21 USC going on the road to Champaign, Illinois, against the number 23 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini. I think this is going to be an unbelievable game, and this is an unbelievable opportunity for USC to get a quality win for their program. Right. The talk about USC last year were they were in a lot of games. They were in a lot of close games, but could not finish games. Right. If you looked at some of the games that USC lost, out of the 5 losses that USC had last year, they were up in all of those games. So that goes to show you that this team, while they have a lot of moving parts in place, this is a really good team for USC. And moving on to this season, how they've played thus far, how I've watched USC played, how they've handled business. I'm really optimistic about this USC team going up to Champaign and finding a way to win. Now, it's not going to be easy because Illinois, in a way, is in desperation mode, right? If you're Illinois, after what happened last weekend in Indiana, you're in desperation mode. Right, losing that game by 53 points was not what they thought was going to happen in Champaign. So now you were on the road last week against an Indiana team that a lot of people were just not aware that they could have been this explosive. And you're going against a quarterback in Jaden Mayava who is just absolutely on fire. Jaden Mayava is absolutely on fire. He leads the country in QBR. Number 1, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, has not turned the ball over yet. And one thing that I'm really, I think, surprised in seeing is the balance of this USC offense. They're able to run the football, and this is something that Lincoln Riley did at Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley ran the football. That was one of the things he did at Oklahoma with the different backs he had, whether it was Trey Sermon, whether it was Ramondre Steven, whether it was a guy like Kennedy Brooks, right? This is what we know Lincoln Riley can do, is running the football. And he has a running back that can do that in Wayman Jordan. This guy is unreal, man. He's averaging 8 yards per carry. To me, he's the mini Ashton Genty. He looks like him. He runs like him. His stance is like him. You know, man, I'm really, really optimistic for this USC team going on the road to Illinois. Now, this doesn't take anything away from Luke Altmaier, right? Luke Altmaier plays solid football. He's in the top 50 in QBR. This guy is a hard-nosed football player. He's not afraid to take off and extend plays on his feet. So if you're USC, while you've played Michigan State and Aiden Childs, you've played Purdue, right? You're going against a dynamic quarterback in Luke Altmaier. Brett Bielema and this Illinois offense, they're going to line it up. They're going to throw, big boy power football at you, and you're going to have to stop it. All right? They got some guys now. They have some guys now, and I expect Illinois to take this game personally, because there is no one on this God-green earth that believed going into last week, going into Bloomington against Indiana, that they were going to get 53 East. No one thought that. So this is a great opportunity for both of these teams. I think Illinois was a team that I was very high on, still very high on them, and they have opportunity on Saturday. Big noon kickoff is going to be there. against a USC team that is really, really hot, right? If we're talking about Heisman favorites, whatever, Heisman conversation, Jada Mayaba's name is in that conversation. He's definitely playing himself into that equation thus far, and it should be interesting. It should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Great football. And I'm really excited to see what happens. Moving on, we have another interesting game in the Big 12 on Friday. TCU going on the road against Arizona State. TCU has really impressed me this season thus far. Josh Hoover is just playing outstanding too as well. They're playing really good football, right? Wins against SMU, wins against North Carolina. They're just playing really good football. And I think this team was really slept on in the Big 12, right? This was a 9-win football team a year ago. No one really talked about Josh Hoover and this team and what they've been able to do. And he's playing efficient football. Josh Hoover is playing efficient football. He's top 10 in the country in QBR, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's playing really good football at a high level for TCU. And this is a point in the season where he needs to play high. So I think this is a great opportunity for TCU to really go in on the road. This is a major conference game. And you have an opportunity to go and make a statement, because I think the rest of the country has not really seen and they don't respect TCU. But I rewatched that game this weekend against SMU. That was a pretty impressive win. That was a pretty impressive win against a good SMU team, a team that was finished second in the ACC last year. So I want everyone to understand that we need to just figure out why Sam Leavitt is not performing in the light I believe he should be. He's had an up and down year, and some people will say it's possibly him, trying to get acclimated, but you see the numbers here, right? Not so impressive on the road against Mississippi State, 10 of 22, 15 of 25 against Texas State. Last week, 22 of 32, 221 yards and a touchdown. And the interceptions, he hasn't thrown an interception in the last 2 weeks, but this TCU secondary is legit. Okay, Bud Clark is one of the best safeties in college football. He's not in the season leaders list. He's not here, but Bud Clark is a monster. Okay. He's a beast. He's a beast. Bud Clark is a beast. This guy hits hard. He hits hard. He wants to make a play on the football. He's an NFL player. This guy's playing on Sundays. He's going to be drafted. Okay, Bud Clark is him. He's one of the best defenders in college football. So if you're TCU, you're going into this game with a sense of optimism because Sam Leavitt has not performed. You have the hot hand. You have the better defense. You have the better quarterback. And last game, Eric McAllister could not be stopped. Eric McAllister could not be stopped last game against SMU. The numbers are right there, y'all. I mean, he could not be stopped. 8 catches, 254 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They couldn't stop him. Now, of course, Arizona State has another demon on their end, Mr. Jordan Tyson, who's also a monster. He's also a problem. So I like TCU going into this football game. They're playing really good football right now. And Josh Hoover, I think, he's the hot guy. He's the guy right now that has the green light. And I think he's playing really well. And I think TCU on Friday night is going to go into Tucson to get the W. That's just it. I just think they're the better team right now. They're playing really focused and inspired football. And I'm excited for TCU. I'm excited for Sonny Dykes and this team for what they're going to accomplish because this is an interesting group. There's a really interesting group, right? These next 3 games, you can easily be 6-0 if you're TCU. So we'll see what happens. But TCU going on the road against Arizona State, Big 12 conference play. We love that conference, one of the best conferences in college football. I feel like I have something itching on my ear. Oh my God. Okay. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rewind. Let's backtrack. Let's have a little bit of reminiscing of the old Pac-12 Husky Stadium, Oregon versus Washington, USC versus Washington. We remember those games in Husky Stadium. But this time around, Ohio State is coming to town. This time around, the number 1 ranked team in college football is coming to Husky Stadium. And they want to prove a point. They want to come in there and absolutely blow the doors off of this Washington team that is playing really good football. And this is the first conference game for both of these teams. And this is also the first true road start for quarterback Julian Sayin. Right? Julian Sayin, Ohio State quarterback, this is his first road start. They haven't played anybody on the road thus far. They've played Akron, or is it Miami? Oh, sorry, Ohio, Grambling, and Texas. And now you're going on the road against a Washington team that is playing really good football and in the loudest environment in college football. Top 3, top 5, whoever you talk to. Husky Stadium is not an easy place to go and get the W. All right? But there is some optimism for Ohio State because you have your X factor. You have a guy called Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football, some would say. You have him here. You have him at your disposal. Not only do you have Jeremiah Smith, you also have Brandon Ennis, who needs to play better. He needs to step up his game. And this guy has been quiet. I don't know what is going on. Maybe it's some camaraderie that needs to happen, but he needs to step up his game. 5 catches for 37 yards is not it for the number 1 wide receiver when he came out, whatever the case may be. But a guy who's really been playing well is Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is really playing really good football for Ohio State. He's playing extraordinary football for the Buckeyes right now. He's going to be a big reason into why Ohio State is successful or not on Saturday. So this is a huge game for Ryan Day. This is a huge game for Ohio State. This is a huge game for Julian Sayin because we don't know. We don't know what this guy is capable of, I still think. We still don't know, right? You get Texas at home. You played Grambling. You played Ohio. We don't know. We don't know. This test right here is an ultimate test for Julian Sayin. This is the best test we're going to see thus far because the hostile environment, Washington at home, the juice is flowing. This is a recipe for an upset for Washington. Now, we also have to remember Washington also has some dogs, right? Damon Williams Jr. is a problem. This guy is electric. He's the way he plays football, he's electric. He's hard to bring down. He likes to extend plays. Not only is he a beast too, but Jonah Coleman, their running back, is a problem. Jonah Coleman runs the ball hard. He is one of the top 10, top 5 running backs in college football. He's that physical of a back. He can take a game over by, hey, we're just going to give him the rock 3, 4, 5 times a drive and let him get 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, whatever, and we'll live with that. And not only do they have Jonah Coleman, they also have Denzel Boston on the outside as well. I mean, just an unbelievable wide receiver. Unbelievable wide receiver. So I think this is a great opportunity for Ohio State to let the country know why they have that number 1 next to their name. Show us. This is the type of game you want to prove to the rest of the country as to why you're the number 1 team, as to why we think you should be the number 1 team. This type of game right here. And I'm excited. I think this is a great test for the Buckeyes. This is going to be the loudest environment that Julian Saint has ever played in. And with all that being said, I think Ohio State is going to find a way to win this game. Now, I'm not sitting here saying this game is going to be, a blowout, whatever the thing. I think this game is going to be close. I think Washington is going to make this game really, really tough on the Buckeyes. I think they're going to make it tough on Ryan Day. They're not. Nothing is going to be easy in this game. Now, the odds favorite is Ohio State, right? But I really think we should, if you're a betting man, you should really be careful with this game. You should really, really be careful with this game. But we'll see what happens. But I think this is a great opportunity for Washington too as well, right? Jedd Fisch has been gearing up for this game, right? Since he's been at Washington last year was his first year there, trying to get with the program, trying to, change the attitude, change the mindset, finished off the year strong. Now you have your real true test, right? This is a true test for Washington. This is an unbelievable test for Washington being in the Big Ten. So this is really exciting, man. This is really what college football is all about. Two historic, programs going at it in conference play, and should be fun. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be a great game, and I think Ohio State find a way to win. Our last game of the evening, we'll be discussing Auburn. Auburn is in do or die mode. They are in do or die mode, and it's already week 4. It's only week 5. They're in do or die mode, and it's only week 5. And you can't blame them. And last week, that call that they had against Oklahoma was just downright disgusting, right? The wide receiver clearly was acting like he was hurt and just didn't sub, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That should have been a flag. And the SEC came out a week, then hours afterwards saying, hey, we messed up this, that, and the third. Auburn needs to find a way to win this football game. Now, it's not going to be an easy test, and Jackson Arnold has not made it easy on this team as well. I don't think he's made it easy on his team as well. There were times in that game last week against Oklahoma where you're seeing Jackson Arnold hold on to the football, and you're asking yourself, damn, man, like, you got to let the ball go. You got to let it go. Let it rip. You got to let it rip. They sacked Jackson Arnold last week 10 times. And I am just – you kind of feel bad for Hugh Freeze, right? This is a guy who really – I think he's done a really good job in the transfer portal. Got Eric Coleman from the transfer portal. Cam Coleman is just – unbelievable. Got Eric Singleton Jr. from the transfer portal. And I think this team, they need to buckle up and find a way to win. That's it. Like, there's no other question. They are in do or die mode in week 5. And you ask yourself, man, if they had that game last week, would they be in this almost desperation mode? And that's why I think Texas A&M should be very, very careful, because I understand they're coming off a bye week. They're well rested, right? They've probably been game planning this for 2 weeks. But when you play teams in desperation mode, one of two things happen. You can play a team in desperation mode, and you can beat the brakes off of them, right? They're in desperation mode, mental errors. They're playing too hard. They don't know what's going on. You just beat the brakes off of them. Then there's a desperation mode where everyone is just hyper locked in. They're just like, yo, I'm making that read. He's chipping here. I'm going to use this, blah, blah, blah. Quarterback is super locked in. They're showing this coverage, but, I'm like, everyone is locked in. I think Auburn on Saturday is going to come into Kyle Field and make it very, very interesting. Now, I don't know who's going to win this game. I think this is a real test for Texas A&M too as well, right? You got in a shootout 2 weeks ago against Notre Dame. You've had some struggles, some weird outings against UTSA. Everyone is looking at A&M as the favorite, but Hugh Freeze has the talent on this Auburn roster to go into Kyle Field on Saturday afternoon and get this W. No doubt in my mind. But it's not going to be easy because Mario Craver is unreal. This guy is the best receiver right now in college football. He is the best receiver right now in college football. And it's not going to be an easy outing. But again, DJ Durkin, the Auburn defensive coordinator, I think he put a good game plan together last week. I think they played well. I think Auburn is going to go into Kyle Field and get the W on Saturday. I think they're in desperation mode. I think Hugh Freeze is preaching that to his team. We can't go 0-2 in conference. That really puts us behind the 8 ball. We've had our eyes set on potentially a 9-win, 8-win, 9-win, 10-win season. They can't afford to lose this game. Now, there's another side of this where Texas A&M just absolutely goes crazy. Marcel Reed has a day. Le'Veon Moss is just absolutely unstoppable. And Texas A&M blows the doors off of Auburn. There's also that reality too. There's also, like I said, the other side of the desperation mode. So I'm very, very optimistic. I think Auburn is in a good spot. I think they're going to play good football, and I think Auburn's going to walk out of Kyle Field with the win. We'll see what happens. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing, subscribe, like, whatever. We enjoy more followers. Just keep showing love, and I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have a great day. Peace.